It's not difficult. All it takes is three simple items, three simple steps that I will share with you in this video. Hi, my name is Zonette, and this is Knowing Thyself 101. I shared part one of your ancestors are sabotaging your success. And this is part two, where I want you to act fast. I want you to act fast because we are in a time now when the ancestors are speaking and the ancestors want movement. The ancestors want us to be activated, chosen women to be activated so that they can work through us to impact the time that we are living in, to help our bloodline, to elevate our ancestral lineage. So today in this video, I'm going to share with you three simple steps, three simple items that you can use to start your ancestral altar, because our ancestors are sabotaging. Your ancestors are sabotaging your success. So you have to act fast, act now. And my daily affirmation, as I said in the previous video, my daily affirmation is that my ancestors are celebrating my uprising. I am my ancestors' joy. I am my ancestors' joy. My ancestors are celebrating my uprising. That's my daily mantra as I lit the candle on my ancestral altar each day. That's my daily mantra as I go through the day. I am my ancestors' joy. My ancestors are celebrating my uprising. You can be your ancestors' joy. You are the chosen. If you are listening to this video, I can tell you of a surety that you are the chosen one in your bloodline. You are the chosen one that your ancestors have chosen to elevate your bloodline, to transform your ancestral lineage, to bring forth the wealth, to bring wealth forward in your ancestral lineage. So you have to act fast, as I am speaking as a matter of urgency, because you have to act fast, because the ancestors are ready to move us forward and to deal with the wealth transfer. And we have to act fast because they are ready. They are ready to move. They are ready to go, and they are impatient at this time. So you have to act fast. So three items that you can use to start your ancestral altar. Three simple items. All right. You can start your ancestral altar on a little table. You can start it in a little cupboard. You can put it away in a little cupboard. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or elaborate. It can be, something in a little cupboard. Yeah, you can have just a little bowl like this, and you put everything. You put everything in a little bowl like this. It can be on a little piece of wood. You can have it on a little piece of wood. You can have it inside of a closet. If you're living with other people in your household and you want to remain private, you don't want everybody having access to your ancestral altar, or you live in a household that the other people in this household might be opposing to you having an ancestral altar, you can keep your little the three items that I'm gonna mention to you in this video. You can keep that in a very private place, in a closet, underneath a table, or in a cupboard somewhere. You can keep it private. It doesn't have to be out in the open. Some people have elaborate ancestral altar where there is a whole room. It's a whole room that they have in their house that they have dedicated to their ancestral altar. They dedicate a whole room. Some people dedicate a whole section of their living room to their ancestral altar. It is advised that we should not have our ancestral altar in our bedroom because we want to be able to sleep. You know, after connecting with your ancestor, the energy will be high, and you want to be able to sleep and to have the privacy of your bedroom without the energy of your ancestors moving around in your bedroom, and you lack the privacy, especially if you're in a relationship and you want to be able to have your intimate moment without, you know, the thought of your ancestors being on your mind and in your space and so on. So it is encouraged, recommended that you keep your ancestral altar outside of your bedroom. You can have it in the kitchen under a cupboard in the kitchen. You can have it in the passageway under a little cupboard in the passageway or so on. It doesn't have to be, you know, in your bedroom and so on. If you're living in one bedroom apartment, it's just one bedroom, then there is no other option than to have your little, with a little box, whether you have a little box with all your 3 items, and then you can close your box when you finish and put away your box, whether under the bed or in the cupboard or somewhere where it's not so out in the open and in your energy field, in your face, and in those who come and visit, then they have access to it. It's put away privately and tucked away, and when you're ready, you go for it and you retrieve it, and then you can have your connection time. So today, the first item I'm going to share with you today is a white candle. When you're connecting with your ancestors, it's important that you have light. It's important that you have light. It's like you're lighting the way for the connection. It's important that you have light. So this white candle is a big one because this lasts me about 7 days. I get it at the, you know, any health food shop or any place that, you know, pharmacy or supermarket, they will sell white candles, and this one lasts about 7 days. You don't have to have a big white candle, especially if your ancestral altar is in a little shoebox. If your ancestral altar is in a little shoebox, you can get a tea light candle. You know, those little tiny candle, you can get a tea light candle, and you can have that in your shoebox. Preferably white. But if you don't have white, any color, you just want to have light. If you don't have white candle, any color. And if you don't have big white candle, tea light candle. You can have tea light candle, and you can have these candle. You can have these ones, and you can have tea light candle. So that is number one item that it's suggestible, it's important, it's beneficial to have light when you're connecting with your ancestor. It's like you're lighting the way for that connection to happen. And fire in and of itself purifies. Fire give vision. Fire purifies. So the fire, the fire is symbolic also. It purifies. It purifies, and it's vision. It gives vision that you can see. Fire is visionary. So it bring about the energy of being visionary. And a purification and being visionary. So that's the fire. The next item of the 3 items that I'm sharing in this video today is a glass of water. Yeah, it's a glass of water. And if you don't have a fancy glass, if you don't have a fancy glass, just use any small container. I'm trying to look for a container here that, you know, you could This is my salt container that I keep on the table, but a small container like this, you could just fill it with fresh water. You fill it with fresh water every day, and if it's a shoe box you're using, you empty after you finish, and then the next day when you're ready to connect again, you just fill this with some fresh water and rest it where you're connecting. So it's quite simple. Water symbol. The symbol of water is life. Water symbol, life. Water symbol, life. Water symbol, purification also. Water cleanse. When we have a bath, water cleanse. Water cleanses us physically and spiritually. So therefore, water is a very spiritual element. Water cleanses us physically and spiritually. Water is a means of communication. Water is a means of communication between the physical world and the spiritual world. Remember, all of us came through water. All of us were in the fluid in our mother's womb for 9 months in water. Our soul descended in water, and we were in our mother's womb, in the fluid in our mother's womb for 9 months. So we were in water. We lived in water. Water was the bridge between the spiritual world and the physical world that all of us came through. So water is a connector. Water is a connector. Water is spirit. Water is a connector. Water represents the spiritual world. So even if you don't have no candle or anything, just fill a glass of water and start talking to your ancestors. A glass of water and start speaking. It's important. Water is life. Water is life. Water purifies. Water gives life. Water purifies. Water protects. Water is the connector between the physical world and the spiritual world. So if it's only water you have, you're going to fill a glass of water and start speaking to your ancestors. Start calling their names. Start calling their names. If it's just your grandma alone that you know who has been deceased, call her name. If it's your grandfather, you call his name. If it's an uncle that was quite warm and kind towards you, call his name. Call his name. If you have a child that transition, call the child name. Call whoever name who transition and gone back to the spiritual realm before you. It doesn't matter their age. They gone back to the spiritual realm before you. So you call in their name, you're giving them more power and more strength to send you information, send you information via your dream, via your intuition. Send you information, send you guidance. Send you guidance via your dreams, via your intuition, if your waking hours, your grandma, your grandfather, your uncle, your auntie, your friend, a friend of yours that transition can speak to you and provide guidance regarding your career, regarding your relationship, regarding your home, regarding your health, regarding your children, regarding your money. They can provide guidance. So call their names daily. Call their names. When you finish with the water, you can pour it on the earth outside or pour it into a plant. You can pour the water in a plant when you finish. or pour it on the earth outside. That bring in the element of earth. The candle bring in the element of fire, and the element of water, then the element of earth. And your words, when you speak, that is the element of air. So the universe, the earth, the universe, nature is made up of 4 elements: fire, water, earth, air. So that is how you bring in all 4 elements: the fire, the water, the earth, and the air. Air that you speak. When you speak, that's air. When you sing, that's air. So you can just have the glass of water and sing. Sing a song that you love to sing, or sing a song that your grandma loved to sing, or your grandpa loved to sing, or your friend loved to sing, or a child that has been deceased loved to sing that song. You sing the song. When you sing the song, you draw them closer. When you sing the song that they love, that reminds you of them, you draw them closer, because it's all energy we are dealing with. And remember, the scientists confirm that energy never dies. Energy never dies. Energy transforms. Energy never dies. So when our people, our friends, our family member, our loved ones leave their physical body, their energy is still around. Energy never died. The energy transformed from a physical body. And maybe you see a butterfly come flying around. A butterfly come flying around. A bird come flying around. Energy transform. Energy never dies. It is scientifically proven. Go and do the research if you must. If you need to convince yourself that energy never dies. So call on the name of your ancestors, the name of those of your loved ones and your friends and your deceased children who have passed on. Call on their name, especially if you had a beautiful relationship with them. Call their names. Call their names. They will provide guidance. Some people might say, should I call the name of the uncle or the auntie we didn't have a good relationship? I'm not going to recommend that you call the name of people who you didn't have a good relationship with, because even though they are now in spirit and they are above what the earthly conflicting relationship, in your mind and in your consciousness, you might just awaken up that energy of the memory of the challenging, disharmonious relationship that existed before they transition. So I would recommend that you call people's name that there was a challenging relationship. Unless when you are doing the healing, the ancestral healing, then you reach the place where you can release what uncle so-and-so did to you, or what auntie so-and-so did to you, or the disharmonious relationship. You can release it during that process of ancestral healing. When you're releasing stuff, then you can release. I will do a video at a later stage where different phase of the moon that you can release in different stages of the moon. Then you can release ancestral material that you know it's not yours. There are memories that come in and you know that that's not mine. I didn't have any trauma concerning this. Why am I afraid of water? I never have any traumatic experience about water in this life. So why am I afraid of water? Those questions come up, and you know that fear of water is ancestral. Your ancestor may have drowned in water. Your ancestors may have been, experienced a traumatic event concerning water. So now you carry the trauma in your body. Remember, your body your body, when the doctor tests your body, they can see your grandfather DNA and your grandmother DNA inside your body. So therefore, you are carrying their genetic code inside of you, their frequency. Their frequency, their genetic code. You're still carrying your ancestral code inside of you. So therefore, you will have to deal with those as you address the anxiety and the triggers that you experience. As you calm your nervous system, so you calm, so you heal your ancestor. I will deal with more of that at a later date as we discuss ancestral healing. So ancestral healing is your healing, and as you heal yourself and heal your body, your mind, your soul, so you heal your ancestral lineage. All right. So the third item of the three simple items that you can use to start your ancestral altar. You can get something that is linked or associated with your disease. So this is the leaflet that they use at my mom Thanksgiving service. Yeah, this is the leaflet they use at my mom Thanksgiving service. So therefore, it have all the songs that we sing at the Thanksgiving service and all the memory about the eulogy and whatever. So I keep this on the altar, and every morning when I'm connecting with my ancestors as a group, I call for mama first. I play this song, one of the song that played at her Thanksgiving service. I play that song every morning, and then I call mama name first, because mama is my most recent connection. Mama is one of my strongest connection, because I knew her personally. She carried me in her womb. She fed me from her breast. She cooked for me. She washed for me. I had all of that memory, and I spent the longest time in this incarnation with her. So therefore, I have a strong connection with her. So I call her name first in the morning when I'm connecting with my ancestors. And as I call her name, I said, Mama, call in the other ancestors, call in my ancient ancestors. There are ancestors 10, 13, 14, 15 generation, many generation before this generation. So therefore I said, Mama, call in all the ancient ancestors and so on. Remember, it's the circle of life. So it's not a straight line. It's a circle of life. The circle of life is not a straight line. So I put this on the altar. My mom Thanksgiving brochure, leaflet. I have this on the altar, and I have a white candle, and I have water. That's a simple, straightforward. If you don't have any Thanksgiving leaflet, you can just put something that remind you, a picture of one of your ancestors, or more than one of your ancestors, or an item. It could be a wooden spoon that remind you of your grandma. A wooden spoon. It could be a wooden spoon that remind you of your mother, your grandma. It could be just a little toy car that remind you of a deceased child. A toy car that remind you of a deceased child. Or even, a picture of a car that look like a car that your grandfather used to drive. And you put it on the altar. Anything that is associated or bring memory to them and the time. Don't put any living person on your altar. So if you take any picture with your deceased loved one, don't put that picture on your altar. You don't want the living to be on the altar with those who are in spirit. If pictures are on the altar, it's for those who are in spirit. So you represent who is in the physical, who is in a physical body, spirit in a physical body, and those on the altar represent those who transition out of their physical body and now is in spirit without a physical body. So nobody is alive. Don't put any living person on your ancestral altar. If you take a picture with your mom or your grandma or a child or a friend, don't put that one. Put one with just them on their own. Put one with just them or their own, or if your parents, both parents are deceased, and then you have a picture with both of them in it, then you can put that one on it also. All right. So that is 3 simple items that you can use to start your ancestral altar. Act fast, act now, because the ancestors are ready. They are ready to move things along. They are ready for you to do the healing work that is necessary for the wealth transfer. There's a wealth transfer that is happening, and your ancestors need for you to do the work so that you can access the wealth transfer for your bloodline, for your ancestral lineage. Remember that I am an astrologer and I do spiritual consultation. So if you're serious about connecting with your ancestral power and remembering ancient knowledge and wisdom and practicing sacred rituals and reclaiming your sovereignty. If you are serious, make connection. Connect with me. The email address is in the description. The email address is in the description. It is knowingthyself101@gmail.com. That's knowingthyself101@gmail.com. Connect with me, and I will send you information regarding availability of appointments and the payment and the different payment method that is used and the pricing system. Thank you very much, and stay tuned. Remember to like and to share and to subscribe and to click your notification bell so that you will be notified each time I drop a video. Thank you very much. And remember, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support, for together we rise. Together we rise. And remember, I am Zonette, and I am my ancestors' joy. I am my ancestors' joy. My ancestors rejoice in my uprising. Thank you very much for listening. Stay tuned. Thank you.